guys, welcome back to my channel and happy 2017. It is so crazy to think that 2016 is finally over. We are in the new year. So exciting. I can't even tell you how happy I am that 2017 is finally here. As you can probably tell by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about my bi-monthly goals for January and February, as well as talking about how to plan to succeed and crush your goals this year. I sort of tried out a new method last year for setting and planning for and achieving my goals, and I think I did a really good job. If you guys have watched some of my previous bi-monthly goal videos, then you know I normally complete at least 75% of them, which is a pretty good run rate if I do say so myself. So without further ado, let's get into my bi-monthly goals for January and February 2017. Goal number 1, write the ending for the third book in the Alpha Drive series, Restitution. Yes, you heard that correctly. I did announce that this book is going to be released on April 4th, 2017, and I still have not written the ending. I've also mentioned in previous bi-monthly goal videos that I do have the ending all sorted out. I do have it written down on paper, but I have not actually typed the ending into my manuscript yet. So it's something that I need to do. I really need to get that done in early January, so I'm going to set a deadline for that one. By January 15th, I really need to have that ending completely written so that I can start my first full edit of Restitution, which happens to be goal number 2. Goal number 3 is to start outlining book 2 of my dark fantasy series. Goal 4 is to write 2 chapters for my nonfiction project. That's something I still haven't really talked about here on YouTube. I'm still kind of keeping it a secret, so when I'm ready to talk more about that, then I will. Goal number 5 is to hold 2 giveaways via Goodreads, and normally these giveaways are signed copies of my books, The Alpha Drive or The Order of Omega. So if you're not on Goodreads, I would go ahead and sign up, and then if you add both of my books to your bookshelf, you will get emails letting you know when there are price promotions for the ebooks and also when there are giveaways for either of the books. Goal number 6 is to post 8 YouTube videos, 1 each week, although I do want to try to post around 2 videos a week, and I want to have one be a vlog type style video and then another one be a more writing advice or how-to type video. We'll see though, because this is going to be a busy 2 months. Goal number 7 is to compile and submit my monthly newsletter by the 15th of each month. Easy peasy. Goal number 8, read 3 books. So I've kind of been slacking on my reading. I think between NaNoWriMo in November and then doing Vlogmas in December, my reading has kind of taken a back seat. I have so many books on my bookshelf that have not been read yet that I really, really want to read. So I really want to try to read 3 books in 2 months, which is a pretty huge goal because I can normally read 1 book a month with my current schedule. I'm really going to aim for 3. Next up on the list, I really want to read Queen of Shadows, which is a huge book, so I don't know if that can be in my 3 a month. Let's see. I want to continue the Fallen Kingdom series. I only read the first book and I loved it, so I really want to read the second one, and I can't remember what it's called right now. If I remember it, I'll insert it here. And the third book I really want to read is A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I have 2 Sarah J. Maas books that I really want to read, and then also a book by Morgan Rhodes. And the other one is, I think, The Winner's Curse by Marie Rutkowski. That's another one I also really want to read. So those are kind of in my top 4. Those are probably the ones I'll be reading next. So hopefully I can actually read 3 books in 2 months. Having a goal always helps me do that. Goal number 9, plan the book launch for Restitution. That is very necessary since it will be releasing in April. I need to get everything squared away, any kind of promotional items, bookmarks, things like that. I just need to plan for the launch. Goal 10, research requirements for audiobooks. So it's very likely that I will not have my books in audiobook format over the next 2 months, but I at least want to research the requirements, what the costs are, and then just start to make a plan as to when my books can be released in audiobook format. Goal number 11 is to start prepping for BookCon. This is a very exciting goal. I need to start thinking about things like my table display and what I'm going to have in my booth, ordering copies of all my books in paperback and hardcover, getting a nice banner or stand with, you know, my books on it and my picture, and I don't even know. I've prepared for book events in the past, but this one is going to be a huge event. I need to double check the size of my table and just prepare for it. So I'm really excited to do that, but I know it's going to be a lot of work. Goal number 12 is to book flights and hotel for BookCon. I can tell you that I've already done this because I was just really excited and I wanted to get good rates, and the earlier you book your flights, normally the better the pricing is. Goal number 13, write and journal on a weekly basis. I'm trying to do this every single Wednesday. I've been pretty consistent with it so far. That's because I actually started in December, but it's something I want to keep doing and make sure I'm journaling all my thoughts and the things that have happened every single week. I found that daily journaling is just not feasible for me. I just can't do it with everything else that I have going on. So weekly journaling is something I'm going to try. Like I said, so far it's working really well. Goal number 14, go for a run 4 times a week. And along with that, I want to work out and do strength training upstairs in my home gym 4 times a week. And the last goal, goal number 15, is to strive for balance on a daily basis. I know that is in every single goal list, but it is something that is very important to me, and reading these goals every day really helps me put things into perspective, and it just helps me strive for balance. So those are my goals for January and February 2017. I would love to hear some of your goals, so feel free to leave them in the comments down below. And now I want to talk about the method I started using last year that will help you plan to succeed and crush your goals this year. The first tip to crushing your goals is to start fresh. And by this I mean go buy yourself a brand new planner or a notebook that has never been used before. These are some of my favorites. I found these at TJ Maxx for $4.99. I just think they are so cute, and I'm actually going to be using this one to write all my goals. You can tell it's nice and fresh. Nothing has been written in this notebook, and so this is what I'm going to use to capture my goals. Subsequently, once I have my goals written down in a fresh notebook, I'm going to incorporate them into my planner. This is an Erin Condren planner. It is customized, so it was a little bit on the pricey side, but you can get Erin Condren planners at Office Max, Staples, online, all that good stuff. So the second tip is to stay simple and write down 3 major goals that you want to achieve over the year. As you guys just heard, I have them in list format and I have 15 goals. That's just a method I found that works for me. But another method that does work for me is to create 3 major goals in separate categories. So you could have one category be a spiritual category, one for your health, one for your writing, one for your social life, one for school, one for family. If you've never set goals before, I would recommend sticking with 3 categories, 3 goals, 1 goal per category. The third tip is that your goals need to be SMART goals. And I'm not sure if you've heard of this acronym before, but it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. If you just write down, I want to lose weight this year, or I want to write a book this year, you're not going to achieve your goal because it's not specific enough. You can't measure it, or you're not putting steps in place to measure it. The A for attainable can also mean agreed upon. So if you do have other stakeholders that are, taking place in your goals, like say you have a goal for your family, then maybe your significant other and your children need to be kind of involved in that goal, and they need to agree upon it as well, because in order to achieve it, you need their buy-in and their support. So if one of your goals is to work out with your partner every single day and your partner doesn't agree to it, then it's going to be very hard to achieve that goal. Saying I want to lose weight over the year is realistic, but how realistic? Because you've probably had that goal every single year and yet you haven't achieved it. And then it's also unlikely to achieve that goal because it is not time bound. You are not giving yourself a deadline. You're just saying this year. So it's okay to not work out and eat healthy foods all the way through December 15th. And then December 31st comes along, you're not gonna lose weight in that 2-week period, and you're not going to see the results that you want. Same thing with writing a book. Saying I want to write a book this year is not a SMART goal. It's not specific enough. You can't measure your actions. The agreed upon part you can kind of skip because it is a solitary activity. But if you do have family time or other commitments, then you do need to agree upon your writing time, which is a smaller goal, which we will get to in a second, in order to achieve that one overarching goal. Is it realistic to write a book in a year? Absolutely. I can write books in 2 months, but it takes a set of planning, diligence, and discipline in order to reach that goal. And time bound, you need to give yourself a deadline. So the reason why I can write a book in a month or 2 months is because I set a deadline for myself and I stick to it. The third tip is to set small weekly goals to help you achieve your overarching goal. So an example of a SMART goal, say for writing for the whole year of 2017, is I want to write a 75,000 word young adult fantasy novel by December 15th, 2017. And I will do this by writing 1,500 words every day for 3 months. Or if you want to be really specific, you can say by writing 1,500 words every day from May to July. This is a SMART goal because it's very specific. It's measurable because you can measure whether or not you write 1,500 words a day every single day from May to July, or whatever time frame you pick. It can be agreed upon because for those 3 months you can agree with yourself or with your family or friends, social events, whatever, that you are going to have designated writing time. It's realistic because 1,500 words a day every single day for 1 month is 46,500 words. Multiply that by 2 for your second month and you have 93,000 words. So by giving yourself a 3-month range, you are allowing for other events that might take place where you can't get writing in that day. So technically you would be able to write 75,000 words in 2 months, but you're giving yourself a little bit of a buffer for things that might happen that are unexpected and just in case you can't get your writing in. And T is time bound. You said December 15th and you have a very specific time frame for when you want to write your book from May to July, and you're going to have it completely finished by December 15th. And by finished, I mean that you have written the first draft, you've gone through and edited it and revised it, and it's pretty much ready to go in an almost tip-top shape on December 15th, where you can start sending it to beta readers and an editor. So that is an example of a SMART goal, and it's an overarching goal for the whole year. As I was saying for tip number 3, you need to set up small weekly goals to help you achieve that one overarching goal. Try to do one thing each week that will get you closer to your goal. You have to think of it as climbing a ladder. You're going to climb each rung and it's going to be a process, but if you can do one thing each week, then eventually you are going to reach the top of the ladder. You are going to reach your goal. But if you don't take the steps to climb the ladder and you don't do something each week, then you're never going to reach your goal. The 4th tip is to pick a word for the year that will be the theme of that year. So in my Erin Condren planner, I do have this whiteboard space so I can actually use an erasable marker on here, and I can write my word at the top here and then write quotes and things that inspire me to help me remember that that is the theme and the focus for this year. I haven't really picked a word yet because I'm trying to choose between a few of them that I think will really fit 2017. But I think the word I'm going to end up choosing, because it's just at the forefront of my mind, is revival. I want 2017 to be a year where every aspect of my life is just exactly where I feel like it should be. I want to revive certain parts of my life that maybe I neglected in 2016 or ones that just kind of withered away. I just want to revive every piece of my life to feel that full, wholesome balance that I have not been feeling. I never like to put all my eggs in one basket, but last year I really focused a lot on writing and my author life, and I kind of neglected some other things. So I really want to make sure I take care of every aspect of my life to achieve balance. So I'm really thinking revival is just a good fit for 2017. The 5th tip is to make your goals mandatory. If you look at your goals as options, then you're not going to achieve them. You might go to school full-time and then work a part-time job. You might work full-time and have your career. You might have a family at home, which is a full-time job. You look at those as mandatory things that you absolutely have to do, whether you want to or not. So you also have to look at your goals the same way. Otherwise, they're never going to get done. When I wake up in the morning, I get a run in, I go upstairs and work out, I shower, get ready for work, drive to work my 8 hours, then I drive home. I'll cook dinner, relax for maybe an hour or so, and then I will lock myself in my office for 2 hours to do YouTube related things and also writing related things. In a sense, my days are laid out so that I am achieving one small thing to get me closer to my goals. The 6th tip is to set deadlines. So if you made a SMART goal, then your goals are already time bound, but it's so important to create deadlines for yourself, especially for those small weekly goals. If you have small weekly goals, then your deadline for that goal should be by the end of the week. If you don't have a deadline, then you're going to end up procrastinating and putting it off, and it's never going to happen. The 7th tip is to visualize. There is a Harvard study that says if you write down or visualize your goals, you are 80% more likely to achieve those goals. If I'm being quite honest, I normally just write down my goals and I don't create a vision board. Vision boards are something I used to do. This is an example of one of my really old vision boards. And as you can tell, it's just kind of all about writing. So this was really when I was super focused on writing the Alpha Drive and getting it published. So I just had a writing vision board. You could have one, a much larger one for all areas of your life or for one area of your life that you really want to focus on. But I really just found a lot of pictures on Pinterest and Google, and then I kind of cropped them and you know, put them into a collage and then printed it out and put it in a frame. Visualization really does work. When you can see yourself in a certain lifestyle or achieving those goals, then it really does help you in meeting your goals. If writing your goals down has not worked for you in the past, I would highly recommend making a vision board or something where you can visually see your goals every single day. Tip number 8 is to prioritize. And I know this might sound redundant, but you do need to prioritize your goals and the things that you are going to do every single week. Otherwise, your tasks and your to-do list are just going to get lost in the mix. You're going to feel confused and overwhelmed, and it's going to be really hard to meet those weekly goals. So you need to choose what is most important to you and prioritize. Tip number 9 is to hold yourself accountable. And some of the best ways to do this is to tell a friend, a family member, YouTube, just to announce your goals somewhere. Let someone know. So that way you kind of hold yourself accountable, because it is kind of humiliating when you don't achieve your goals to have to go tell that person or tell your YouTube channel that you failed in succeeding. Letting other people know is a great way to hold yourself accountable. And last but not least is number 10, to reflect and reassess each month. In a sense, you need to plan for change. Things are not always going to go as planned. You might have some emergencies and crises arise a certain month that really take away time from your goals. And that's okay. As long as you have your goals and you plan for change, you should be fine. Sometimes it's good to give yourself a little bit of a buffer, so that way you can almost plan for the unexpected things that are undoubtedly going to happen. It's very unlikely that everything will go exactly according to your plan, but it's good to have one so that you can make small steps toward your goals every single day. And when you need to readjust or change it, you can. So there you have it, 10 tips to help you plan to succeed and crush your goals in 2017. If you like the content today, please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Both of my books, The Alpha Drive and The Order of Omega, are available for purchase on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, The Book Depository, and Books A Million. I'm also offering signed copies of both books. You can find all the links in the description box below. If you didn't already know, I have teamed up with Audible, the premier provider of digital audiobooks with over 180,000 titles to choose from, to give you guys some free stuff. If you go to audibletrial.com/KristenMartinBooks, then you can get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial for their service. My books are not yet available as audiobooks, but it is something I'm working on for the future. I'm also offering first chapter critiques for $65 a pop. If this is something you are interested in, head on over to my website at KristenMartinBooks.com and click on the first chapter critique tab to get more information. If you have any questions or anything you'd like me to talk about in one of my next videos, feel free to tweet at me at authorKristenM, or you can leave a comment down below. You can also ask a question or post a comment anonymously on my Ask Me Anything page on Tumblr. Again, all the links are listed below. Thank you so much again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel on your way out. I post new videos on Tuesdays. I will see you guys next time. Bye.